It's Sunday, December 11th, 2016 at 7:36 p.m. And so I just had this idea for a video like literally a minute ago, and I was like, this is important. Like, make a video. So I wanted to talk about, because I've made a couple videos in the past like 2 weeks about mental health, because I started being honest um, with the world about how I struggle with my mental health. And I wanted to share some tips or advice, or at least in my opinion, of ways that you can help a loved one that has mental illness. Um, as I've said in my videos, and I'll continue to say it, I struggle with a lot of mental illness. Um, it greatly affects my life. This past week has been one of the worst, most destructive weeks of my entire life. But luckily, I have a pretty strong support system of people that love and support me. Um, Not everyone in my life outside of my close friends. No, what am I trying to say? The people that I keep in my life know how to deal with me and my disorders. But as I'm finding, as I start creating new relationships with people, I don't know how to interact with them because I don't know how to say, these are the things that I need in order to be supported and to feel that we can continue a relationship, whether or not it's completely platonic or more than that. So I was just thinking, like, maybe this is selfish and this is me saying this is what I need as a human being. But so some of the disorders that I struggle with, I have borderline personality disorder, I have bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety, social anxiety, an eating disorder. We'll leave it at 6 for now. There's more, but we'll leave it there. Um, and I'm trans. On top of this, I'm transgender. So, killing it. But so I just want to talk about ways that if you have someone in your life that is mentally ill or whatever, that there are certain things that you can do to help this person. And especially, maybe this video is more geared towards like people that you're just entering a relationship with, if maybe someone disclosed to you that they have mental illness. But all right, so I'm just gonna start. I don't know where this video is going. I didn't write anything down. This is all off the top of my head, but here we go. Number one, this is the biggest symptom with my borderline that I have, that people need to know how to like deal with. One of the big symptoms of borderline personality is fear of abandonment and rejection, whether or not these things are actually real. Like, it might be perceived abandonment or perceived rejection when in fact it is not. So one of the ways that you can help and support a loved one that has borderline personality specifically and has expressed concerns of abandonment is constant reassurance that the person is important in your life. Now, I understand when you're first getting to know someone and you're starting a new friendship that might seem a lot to have to constantly be telling someone that they matter to you. So maybe this is for the people that are like in relationships with someone who has borderline, or like, parents or whatever. But I am convinced that a lot of the people in my life are going to leave me, and especially the people that I first meet, is when shit gets really hairy, because here I am thinking I'm this big crazy motherfucker who's going to push everyone that I'm even interested in away from me. And so what I find, and what other of my friends that suffer with borderline personality, is that we constantly need to be assured that you're not going to leave us, that we're valued, and that you actually like us as human beings. Now, I realize everything in this video is going to sound probably ridiculous, and it's going to sound desperate, and it's going to sound needy, but unfortunately with these disorders, these are the things that we need in order to feel supported and loved. So number one, right off the bat, is the affirmation that we are needed and valued in your life and that you're not going to leave us. Second to that, with the rejection and abandonment, is keeping in contact with the person who has mental illness. Like, personally speaking, for me, and I can even speak for another friend that has borderline, and I'm sure a lot of people that have borderline can relate to this. I have a really hard time when people don't respond to me via text in a timely fashion. I, and I know that sounds so stupid, but I freak out. Like, if you take like 2 hours or some shit to text me, or even longer, like, I am either thinking that you died or that you hate me. And that's in a couple hours. If you go days without texting me, like, clearly I did something wrong and you never want to speak to me again. That's where my head goes. And I know that's drastic and that's crazy and that sounds needy and whatever, but that's just how my brain is wired to work. That I think that I must have done something wrong to push someone away, that they no longer want to interact with me. So I would say what I would like my new friends and people in my life to know, and I don't even know how I would tell people this without sounding like a needy little bitch, is that, like, I understand that people are busy and have lives and work and go to school and have families and kids and stuff like that. But for someone that struggles with massive insecurity that people are going to leave you, if I send you a text and you don't respond for hours at a time, that causes immense anxiety for me. And I truly believe, like, yes, if you're at work and you really can't get to your phone, I understand that. But if it's in a situation where you're just busy and you can't talk right now, sending me a text just letting me know, hey, I'm at work, I can't talk, I'll get back to you later, is a lot better than just straight up ignoring me. Like, it's just, yeah, it's something I need to work on. And I know I'm not the only one. So simply just checking in and saying, you know what, right now is not a really good time. One of my friends did something beautiful that I didn't even know I needed until they did it. And they said, hey, I'm going to be pretty busy the next few days, so, I'm not going to be able to talk to you as much. And that was great because I was able to readjust my expectations of what our relationship was going to be for the next few days. I said, okay, she's going to be busy. Leave it at that. She's not going anywhere. She doesn't hate you, but she's going to be busy. So being in communication with people. Some people need more communication than others. I mean, other people can go days without having to talk to you. I have a best friend that I talk to maybe twice a month. That's because I know her and I know she's not going anywhere. But especially when it comes to forming new relationships with people that have borderline, it can be really touch and go with how we react to situations and that fear of abandonment. So I think it's just, what I'm trying to say is, be conscious when of keeping in touch with this person. Um so yeah, I'll leave that there. I think I made that point clear. Um a specific note on being trans and how you can support a trans loved one. Especially if you're in a romantic relationship, let that person know that their gender identity is valid. That's the number one thing you can do. That comes in a many assortment of ways, such as using their preferred pronouns or their chosen name. But it even goes so far as referring to their anatomy as whatever they want it to be called as. Validation is so important as being a trans person, and if you want to be an ally of a transgender person, you need to respect their name and their pronouns and everything else about their identity. Even if this person doesn't look the gender that they identify, it doesn't fucking matter. If someone says that that's what they are, then you need to respect that. It may not be easy for you, but you need to understand that as a trans person, like, we're sensitive, we're dealing with shit. Like, we're literally saying to society, what you say I am, I'm actually not, so I'm gonna go against what society is telling me is acceptable. That's difficult as fuck. And we need people in our corner that are gonna support us and love us. So you can be an ally by just doing literally those three things: pronouns, preferred name, and just respecting them in general and accepting that how they identify is how they identify. Now, in terms of having bipolar disorder, that's a sticky bitch because my moods can be all over the place, and it's really I mean, that can just be a mess. I can't imagine what it's like dealing with me when I'm not on my meds and I'm manic and depressed and all over the place. But I think the main thing that this video could even be called is literally patience and understanding. You may not, my dad is an incredible human being, and one time said to me when I was really depressed and had to miss work for a couple days was, he said something like, I can't understand what you're going through, but like I support you or something. And I think knowing that you will never be able to understand what the person with mental illness actually goes through, if you can have the empathy and patience to deal with us when we're in our worst moments, that's all we need. You don't have to understand what it feels like to want to hurt yourself. I don't need my boyfriend or girlfriend to be able to understand how low of a depression I've been in order for me to do the self-destructive things that I've done. I'm not asking that. What I'm asking for is love and affirmation that I matter and that no matter what happens, that you're going to be there for me. And I know that's intense and that's a lot to ask of people. That's a lot to ask of people. I had a girl that was interested in me tell me that she couldn't go out with me anymore because she couldn't deal with my mental illness. Sucks for her. Like, that sucks. That was really hurtful, but sucks for her. Because the main thing that I want to say is people with mental illness, and especially with borderline personality, we have so much love to give, dude. I mean, I can love so deeply and fully with my heart, and I'm empathetic and compassionate and loving. And I have a lot to offer other people when I'm not working on myself. So I think instead of being afraid of what an undertaking or how unstable or how messy things can get with your loved ones, I think the main thing is you just need to have patience and be there the best that you can. And that means listening. And that means understanding that there's a difference between empathy and sympathy. Like I said, I don't expect people to understand what it's like to be trans. I'm not asking that. What I'm asking for in people that I surround myself with is that they can understand that what I'm going through must be difficult and be there for me through those difficult times. That's it. That's the only thing you can do. So I guess now that I've talked for 12 minutes, that's about all I need to say, is that you need to understand that we need love and support without having to understand what we're going through. And I know that these are difficult conversations to have because there's people in my life that I need to have these conversations with to tell them these are the things that I need from you. I don't want to have to tell the people that I first meet in my life that if they don't text me for like 13 hours, then I'm going to freak out and possibly do something really stupid. But if people want to be my friend and date me someday, they need to understand these things about me. And I'm a firm believer in getting these things out there right in the beginning, because if you can't handle me saying that I need you to respond, how are you going to handle me at my worst? And unfortunately, that's scary to hear from people. And I don't even like saying that because I know that's going to push people away. But like, if you can't have me at my worst, you can't have me at my best. So this is a long video. I hope it wasn't preachy. I hope this helped someone. If you have any questions, hit me up, comment below. I think, just like the whole world needs, we just need more understanding and respect, and knowing that people with mental illness are strong as fuck because we're fighting the demons inside our heads and are continuing to go on. So what we need are the people around us is to be able to support us and not run away and slap us with the label that we're crazy. Just embrace us and love us, and we will do the same to you as the best of our ability at that time in our life. So thank you guys so much for watching.